arrived, and his brothers immediately stripped him of his fancy robe and cast him into a pit. The pit, our verse says, "V'haboir reik," and the pit was empty. Ein bei mayim, it doesn't have any water. If it's empty, obviously it doesn't have any water. So why is the verse telling me it doesn't have any water? There is no such thing as redundancy in Torah. No such thing as an extra word. In this case, we have a few extra words, not even an extra letter. So it has to be that there's something else that the verse is telling us. And there is. The sages tell us, and Rashi brings this again in his commentary, which means it's the simple meaning of the verse. Mayim ein boy. There is no water in the pit. That's what the verse says. Ein boy mayim. But what does it have? It has scorpions and snakes. Animals that are prominent when there is no water, namely animals of the desert. So when the verse says that the pit is empty, it means that it's empty of water, but not empty completely. Therefore, the second clause, which particularizes what does it not have, how is it empty, it doesn't have water. The scorpions and the snakes, it does have. The Talmud asks, so how is it that Joseph survived? Right? He gets dropped into a pit with no water, but with plenty of snakes and scorpions. Why didn't they kill him? Why didn't they eat him or sting him or whatever, however he would have died? So the Talmud answers that he fell on top of them and always remained on top of them. In other words, he was never on their level, and so they didn't strike. He was always on top of them. Everything in the Torah, in addition to being a narrative, is also a lesson for us. The word Torah is related to the word Hayra, which means lesson. Furthermore, the behaviors, the activities, the endeavors of our forefathers, and that doesn't just mean Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, it means in general the protagonists of Jewish history, is a siman labanim, is an indicator, a lesson for the children, for us. The idea of the pit is actually related to the mind. A person's mind never really stops working. The soul has three ways of expressing itself, what are called the vestments or garments of the soul, what are called levushei hanefesh. Three ways that a person expresses himself. He thinks, he speaks, and he acts. Certainly a person can stop acting. You just sit there and don't do anything. Most people can stop speaking. Rabbis, more difficult than others, but even rabbis can stop speaking. A person, however, can never stop thinking. A person is always thinking. You can change what you're thinking about to something else, but you can't really stop that particular vestment, that garment from working. So it's like this bottomless pit that's always has something in it. If ein boy mayim, if there is no water, which is Torah, in the mind, what replaces it? The pit is empty of water. My main boy, there's no water, but what are there? Snakes and scorpions, which relate to what are called machshavas zares, foreign or not good thoughts. Thoughts about things that one shouldn't be thinking about and certainly not doing. If one is in a situation, nobody's perfect, if one is in a situation where haboir reik ein boy mayim, where his mind, his pit is empty, it doesn't have any water. Joseph gets thrown into such a situation. If one finds oneself in such a situation, how can one escape the damage that the snakes and the scorpions, the foreign and not good thoughts can do to you? You must stay above them. Do not engage in those foreign thoughts thinking that you can defeat them, that you can outsmart them. They are the machinations of the evil inclination, of the Yetzer Hara. And the only thing that one should do, the only thing one can do, is to stay above them. And by virtue of staying above them and not engaging, they will go away just like they did not harm Joseph.